a chartered accountant, cost accountant, and a company secretary. And in today's session, we will be dealing with registration of charge, right? So, what is the charge? What is the requirement? All those things we will be dealing with it. This is a practical aspect of a person doing the business. So we will be learning one by one the concept, right? So if I'm a businessman, I'm doing a business. Will I be able to start the business with my own funds? I may need to buy some machinery which may be worth crores of rupees or lakhs of rupees, but I might be having a limited resource. I might be having only certain funds available. But for me to do the business, I require much more than the money I have. So, is there any option for me to do the business? The answer is yes. If a person wants to do the business, even if the required funds are not there, he can borrow. But if I want to borrow, yes, if I want to borrow, so what will be the requirements? I want to borrow. I can go in for a bank, going into a bank, and I can obtain the money, right? So I can obtain the money, but he should be willing to give it to me. So if I'm an unknown person, so how will the bank will give me the money if I want to borrow, say, 5 crores of rupees for doing a business, for buying a machinery? So the banks may insist on some sort of security. See, I'm borrowing a huge amount. So some sort of security should have to be given to the person, right? If for a normal business, what we do for our day-to-day borrowings, probably we may give some movable property. That is called as pledging. Suppose I have jewelry. I pledge the jewels and get the money. So that is pledging of jewels. I can, on the other hand, if I want to borrow money from the bank, I can either give movable property or immovable property as a security. Is that possible? Yes, it is possible. So can I give the movable security? I cannot take that. Suppose I have a vehicle or any movable property that cannot be taken and given. So that you call it as you hypothecate the thing and the assets and you get the money. Or if I have a land or a building or some sort of assets, I can do give that as a security and obtain the loan. So their charge comes. So what is the charge? The lender or it could be the banker has got a hand or has got a hold on the security of my assets. So using that, keeping that as a security, he can give it. Now, the legal provision is that if I get a loan, that has to be registered with the Registrar of Companies, ROC, in the respective area. Now, we all know that ROC is there in each state. In some states, more than one Registrar of Companies is there. So, I have to intimate, I have borrowed it from this bank. It is the duty of the company to register the charge that you call it as a charge. The banker, suppose I have got the loan from SBI, assume. So in that case, I should have to, the company, ABC's company. Let me share. You have a problem with Now is the screen visible? So the registrar will register the charge. It could be 10 lakhs, it could be 20 lakhs, it could be 5 crores, it could be anything. Just a minute. Now is my screen visible? Yes. So the banker is giving me the money, so that should have to be. Suppose I'm ABC company. I go to SBI Bank and I want, say, 50 lakhs of rupees. Now, the banker will give me, now it is the company, and ABC Limited is the borrower. Now, bank is the lender, right? Now, the borrower should have to go to ROC, the registrar of companies, and I have taken this loan. Assume that I have given my land as security. So, this land as security, I would have signed certain documents. The banker will not give me just like that orally. There will be some documents written that will vary from bank to bank. The lender will have their own format. SBI may have a format, Canara Bank may have a different format. So, whatever format they have, those forms I should have to fill in and I should have to give it. So, this signed documents that I should have to give it to the register with the ROC. So, that is the meaning of charge. So, what is that charge? Definition, if I take. It could be any interest or lien. It could be any interest or lien. What is a lien? The banker has a lien on the assets. Why lien? What is the meaning of lien of the asset? Suppose I fail to repay the money. He can sell the assets and he can realize the cash. So an interest on lien created on the property or assets. It could be land, it could be building, any assets of a company or any of its undertakings or both. So any of assets can be given, ABC company of or my undertaking. So whatever asset I'm giving as a security, on that charge will be created. So why this given, it's given as security? I've got 50 lakhs as loan. For that, for repayment of loan, that is an assurance to the bank that I will definitely repay the loan because I have given a security. So it is a secured loan. And charge includes a mortgage also. That is, mortgage means you are depositing the title deeds. Deposit of title deeds with the bank. So that is the definition of a charge. 4 points you should have to remember. It is an interest or lien created on the. I have given each one as a separate point. You have to write all the points. An interest or lien created on which property? On the property or assets of the undertaking of the company or any of its undertakings or both, created as security for the purpose of repayment of loan, and it includes mortgage, right? See, if the background is not visible, check your laptop or your from your side. It's visible here. So this is with regards to the definition of charge, right? Now you can ask me what are all the different types of charge that are there. Now charge can be classified as a fixed charge or a floating charge. When will it be floating? Suppose I have got a current assets or any movable assets. So I can create a charge on the assets also. It need not be my fixed assets. It could be on my current assets also. So as and my, so in that case, your balance sheet is there, right? Suppose in the balance sheet, you have current assets, right? You have got accounts receivable, you have got inventory, you have got. So this balance is will not be the same throughout. It will fluctuate. So when the charge is created on the current assets of the company, it is going to fluctuate, right? If it is, yes, yes, Maithili, you have out. So when the charge is going to fluctuate, it is called as a floating charge. If it is going to be fixed or fixed on the asset, it is a fixed charge. So you have got two types of charge, fixed charge and floating charge. We will see one by one. So what is a fixed charge on the specific asset? Say, for example, if I take the land or the building, if I take the land or the building which I have given, which I own. So there I will have this. If it is a land, I would have specified the survey number. So all those details pertaining to that land. So you have something to recognize that land. No, say I can say it as survey number 5 bar 61, some number located at this place, at this state. So you have it, you identify it. So this is a charge on the specific assets of the borrowing company. And this is identified, the one which I'm going to give at the time of creating the charge itself in the documents, I will make a mention. What are all the assets I'm going to give? So that will be mentioned and that is identified at the time of creation of charge itself, right? And can I sell the assets once I have created a charge? And I cannot sell the asset. Suppose, say, I have a land in Mumbai. I have given that land in Mumbai as a security. Can I sell that asset? No. So definitely I cannot sell this asset. Till the I repay the loan, I cannot sell the assets. So, and the where a charge is created on such assets, the charge remains fixed and the borrowing company is not permitted to sell such assets, but I can use that. That is permitted. I can use it, but sell I cannot do. When I can sell the asset, I should have to get the consent of the charge holder. So in which case, what will happen? Practically what we do, suppose I want to sell this asset. Instead, I will give some other security and with that the banker may allow me to do a modification. Then I can give some other property as security. Then I can release this charge and then I can sell this property. That is practically possible. Now, when it gets vacated, when the money borrowed is repaid in full, not suppose I have got 50 lakhs I should have repaid. Suppose they would have charged the interest also. Whatever it could be, quarterly interest or monthly interest, whatever it is, I should have repaid in full. The money borrowed, subject to fixed charge, is repaid in full. Then I can use the asset. The charge is vacated. That you call it as satisfaction of charge. Now, there are three things that we do in charge. First one, we do a creation of charge. I said I'm changing the assets or the additional security could be given. So that means modification of the charge, or the banker could have given me another additional 20 lakhs. So the charge amount gets increased to from 50 lakhs to 70 lakhs. So that amounts to modification of charge. The original terms and conditions are modified. So there it is a modification of charge. Once I repay it in full, that is called as satisfaction of charge. So a charge ID will be created in the portal. If I do a charge, the charge ID will be created. Then based on that, if I have satisfied it full, then this will not be live. Otherwise, any person can see whether a charge has been created by this company or not. It is transparent. When you log in mca.gov.in, it is transparent how many charges are there for this company. What is the reason why there should be transparency? Suppose I have given, you are only depositing the title deeds. You are just giving it as a security to the company. What if I get a loan from some other bank by giving security for the same asset? He may not accept that. So in that case, it is transparent. Any company which creates a charge, has modified the charge, which has satisfied the charge, it is transparent, it is available in the portal. So this is with regards to fixed charge. That is, you have to identify it at the beginning of the uh, asset itself. Before you take the asset, or before you take the loan itself, you identify that I am going to give this property as security for this. All the details will be filled in the form. You submit it, you get the signature. Both the charge holder, both the borrower and the lender will execute the document. See, the document is, let me give you, suppose this is the document. Both the lender and the borrower, both should have to sign the document. Then it gets registered with the ROs. So at the time of creating this document, preparing this document itself, all these details needs to be filled. So that's why it is said identified at the time of creation of charge. At that time itself, you identify. Right? This is with regards to fixed charge. What about the floating charge? As I told you before, it is changing in nature. Say, for example, in the asset side, you have stock in trade. That is your inventory. Or you can have a debtors. When I say inventory, it could be raw material, it could be work in progress, it could be finished goods, it could be anything. On this full inventory, you can create a charge. Similarly, on the debtors from whom your, yes, I will tell you. So on the debtors also, they can create a charge. So as I said, this is a current asset. What is the meaning of current asset? This asset will fluctuate. I would have sold on credit, then the debtors will increase. I would have received cash, then debtors will decrease. Similarly, if I have so much of finished stock, it might fluctuate. Either it might increase or decrease. So it is fluctuating in nature. So there a floating charge is created on assets which are fluctuating or changing in nature like raw materials, stock in trade, debtors, etc. Now this can be on the present and the future. See, in future there it is going to fluctuate. Say for example, if I have, today I'm creating a charge on 23rd March, my debtors might be 20 lakhs. On 24th March, it might be 22 lakhs. On 31st March, it could be 12 lakhs. It could be anything, or it could be even 42 lakhs. So it is fluctuating. So once a charge has been created on the present and the future, now it is going to fluctuate. The value is going to fluctuate. So it is a charge upon assets, both present and future, right? So here you can deal with assets. Now raw material, I have a charge on the asset. You can ask me a question, ma'am, can I sell those assets? I have created a charge on raw material, on the finished goods. Can I sell the assets? Yes. Can I use the assets? Yes, you can use the assets. You can sell it. No limitation. So that is in the ordinary course of business. If it is a current asset, if it is a raw material or WIP, that WIP will get converted to finished goods. Finished goods again will be converted. Either this finished goods could be sold for cash or it could be sold for credit, in which case this asset will be converted to debtors, right? Instead of inventory in your asset side, it is going to be on the debtors block, right? Or cash would have been received. It then again it will be cash balance going to increase. So it can be dealt with the company. So whatever it is, they can get it. And the buyer of asset, you can ask me a question. What about the buyer? If they have got the goods from me, I have sold the goods. Will they be subject to charge? No. The buyer of the asset will get it free of charge. So while writing the examination, you have to understand the concept, what it is, why it is that each wording is important in law. So what are a quick recap, what are the points that you should have to write? See, in any law paper, the exact wordings or what are all the points that are there that should be mentioned by the students, right? So if I ask you what is a floating charge, you have to write it is fluctuating or changing in nature. And then you have to give an example, raw material, current assets. Then when I say how, you should have to remember that. Now, raw materials, when I say current assets, it is going to fluctuate. So both present and future. And can I use those assets? Yes. So what is the better way of using it? Can be dealt with the company using the assets. That is a local term. That is colloquial way of writing it. Orally we do it. When you write it in the examination, you have to write it as dealt with by the company. The assets offered can be dealt with by the company in the ordinary course of business. That is there. And the buyer also will not be affected by the charge. He will get it free of charge. You have to write all the points. Is this clear? Shall we proceed further? Yes. Yes. See, for some of the doubts which you have mentioned, I will make a note and at the appropriate time, I will tell you. Don't worry, I am making note of it. Yes. Harshal Patil, what is your doubt? Okay. Then we'll move to the next thing. There is something called as crystallization of floating charge. Now, what happens? I would have got the loan. Then, if I have committed a breach, then what happens? Then the floating charge becomes a fixed charge. I cannot deal with the assets. I cannot do anything because I have violated the terms and conditions which has been specified by the banker or the lender. So in that case, I will not be able to take it as a floating charge. Suppose I have violated the terms. I have sold the asset. It could be anything. It could be violation of anything. So whatever I have agreed upon, I have committed a breach. Breach means not going as per the requirements. So they want certain conditions to be followed. I'm not following that condition. So breach of terms and conditions. So in that case, it could be violated, or it could be I am not continuing my business. I'm doing a business. So that business, I'm not continuing my business. Or the company goes into liquidation. No further it is going to carry on the business. So in that case, who is the affected party? The lender is at risk. So what he will do, in a floating charge, I can use the assets, right? So he should have to have a hold on the assets. So what he will say, since I have violated, what he will say, you cannot deal with the asset. You cannot use the asset because I have violated. At that time, the floating charge will become a fixed charge. I cannot sell the assets. I cannot sell the inventories if it is a floating charge. Then on all the assets, see the wording is on all the assets available on that date. So the banker has got or the lender has got a hold because of violation on my part. Either it could be a breach of terms and conditions, or the company for some reason I'm not continuing my business, or I'm going to go, I'm going to liquidate my business. So that is called as crystallization of floating charge. So what happens when crystallization takes place? So a float generally on crystallization, the security becomes fixed. So that floating charge becomes a fixed charge. And what is the option available? The lender can realize the assets, he can sell the assets and realize the money for the borrower. So once the floating charge becomes fixed, the stock neither can be sold nor used by the company for its business operations. Now, till such time, it remains dormant. So, a floating charge remains dormant till it becomes fixed or crystallizes. So, on crystallization, so this is the effect of crystallization. The floating charge becomes fixed. It can be realized by the lender so that the borrowed money is repaid and the borrower cannot use the asset. He cannot sell the assets. If it is a finished stock, he cannot sell. Why? What is the reason? Because he has violated the terms and conditions, or he has seized the business, or he is going to go into liquidation. So this is with regards to crystallization of floating charge. Shall we proceed further? Any difficulty? Okay. Then I said it is the duty of the charge to get registered with the registrar of companies. Now the question is, who should have to do the registration? Generally, the borrower should register with RBOs. Suppose the borrower has failed to do the registration, then the lender can do the registration. That is, the bank may register the charge with RBOC. Certain banks, what they do practically is that they don't depend on the borrower. They may forget. So, as a precautionary measure, they have a plan, they have a policy, they will register themselves with the RBOC. It's quite possible, but they may request the borrower to register, or they themselves, their laws empowers them to register by themselves also. So as long as the documents are submitted, the registrar will see whether it is proper, and then he will make a registration of charge. He enter that he maintains a register. So in that he will create an ID, charge ID, and he will register it there. Yes, generally banks are doing. Practically, what role is that? Because if they lend, they should have to follow it up with the companies. Companies may do it, may not do it. So, in practical perspective, some banks they take it mandatory that they will only register. That is being done. So, what is the duty to register the charge? Who has got that duty? That if you ask, every company creating a charge. So every company creating a charge. See, I'm using the word the law, the Act Section 77 starts with every company creating a charge. So how you should have to write every company creating a charge or a company creating a charge. If you write the answer as a company shall register the particulars of charge, it is wrong. So how you should have to write it? So which company should have to register the charge? The company, every company creating a charge, what it should do? See, the answer is what it should have to do. Who should have to do it? See, the answer goes like this. Who should have to register the charge? Every company creating the charge. What it should have to do? It should have to register the particulars of charge. What are the requirements? It should be signed by the company and the charge holder. Charge holder is nothing but the lender or the bank. With the instrument creating such charge, you have to attach the instrument with the form. So with the instrument creating such charge, in which form? The form is CHG1. CHG is for charge. So CHG is for charge. If you are taking debentures, then the form to be filed is charge number 9. Charge CHG 9 has to be registered. With whom you should have to register? With the registrar of companies, where the registered office is situated. So he will be in a better position. So you have to register with the registrar of companies. What is the time limit? It is 30 days from the date of creation of the charge. If it is 30 days from, if you simply write it as 30 days, the answer is not complete. From the date of creation of charge. Suppose modify, it is the general rule is from 30 days from the date of modification of charge, 30 days from the date of satisfaction of charge. So since I'm talking about creation of charge, it is 30 days from the date of creation of charge. Then where should the asset be located? It could be located in India or outside India. Depending on the location of assets, it could be movable or immovable. It may be tangible or intangible. When I use the word tangible, intangible assets, on that also you can create a charge, like patent, trademark, copyright, intangible assets also charge can be created. Charge can be created on financial assets. You make an investment. See, when you can create a charge on current asset, you may have made an investment in shares or debentures of some other company. So even in that, you can create a charge. And charge is created by deposit of title deeds. As the banker may accept that, and instead of proper mortgage, you can create a charge by deposit of title deeds. You are the holder. Title deeds means you are the owner. So you are depositing that with the bank at the time of creation of charge. See, is this visible? No, my sharing is not visible. Wait. Now is it visible? Yes. Okay. So I repeat, the duty to register the charge. Who should have to register the charge? Either the borrower or the lender can register the charge. So every company creating a charge. So who should have to register? No. So every company creating a charge shall register the particulars of charge signed by the company and charge holder with the instrument creating such charge. And in case of debentures, the form to be filed is CHG 9. Normally it is CHG 1. That is charge 1 is for creation of charge with the registrar of companies within 30 days of creation of charge. The asset could be in India or outside India, and it might be movable or immovable. It can be tangible or intangible. When charge is created by deposit of title deeds, then also it is registrable by the borrowing company. Now, is my screen visible? Yes, you can write it in this form because each one is a point. See, now you are asking me, can you write like this in the examination? Yes, as long as you have written the points, instead of writing it in one paragraph, you can, it is for your reading also, this is easy, right? So my main point is that you should not omit even a single point. So I have put it in each one in a bulletin, separate bulletin. So each one conveys a point. So the first thing, every company creating a charge. Then second one, it should have register. What is the keyword? Register is the keyword. It should be signed. That is the keyword. Let me highlight the keyword. Every company creating a charge shall register the particulars of charge. It should be signed by the company and the charge holder. With the instrument also should have to be attached when you file the form. Which form are you going to file? Form CHG1. Like a story you remember. If it is for debentures, it is going to be CHG9. With whom you are going to register? With the ROC. How many days time limit? 30 days of 30 days. If you stop here, it is answer is not complete. Of creation of charge. Both are important. Within 30 days of creation of charge. It can be situated in India or outside India. It can be movable or immovable. It can be tangible, like you can give an example, or it could be intangible, or otherwise they have given. Or otherwise means it could be intangible asset like patent, trademark, and copyrights also. And it can also be created by deposit of title deeds instead of a proper mortgage. Then it is registrable by the borrowing company. Yes, sure, Mahak Roy. Yes. So each and every one, the main reason is that you should not omit even a single point. That is my intention. Then, who should register the charge? In case the borrower borrowing company creating the charge fails to register the charge within the prescribed period of 30 days, then the person in whose favor it is created, that is the lender, can create the charge. See, proper mortgage is you are mortgaging the immovable property as such. I'll explain to you. So the concept here is if the borrower, that is the company, fails to register, then the banker can register. That is the charge holder, the lender, whatever name you call him, he can register the charge. The banker or a lender, the charge holder, once he registers the charge, he is the charge holder. So the charge holder, whatever name you call it, the person in whose name, whose favor the charge is created, that is the financial institution, it could be the banker or lender or any financial institution also. So whoever lends it, they can register the charge. That is the concept. Then, what is the verification procedure? If it is within India, you are giving your asset within India. So that can be verified by a certificate issued by the director or company secretary or an authorized officer. So whoever it is, they can see if it is India, an Indian asset, it can be verified by the director or by the company secretary or by any authorized officer of the charge holder. Because it pertains to within India. Whereas, if it is within India, it can be like that. Suppose the property is situated outside India. Suppose in US or Japan, outside India. So, who should have to verify it? So, there the procedure is slightly high. It can be verified by a certificate issued either. So, issued either means either this or this or this. So, you will have under the seal of the company. So the common seal or generally the seal of the company. So in this case, it is outside India. It can be verified by a certificate issued either under the seal of the company or by any director, the normal thing, director, company secretary or authorized officer of the charge holder. That is the usual thing. Or any person who is interested in that mortgage in that or charge. Any person who is interested in that mortgage or charge. They should have to issue the certificate and they should have to verify it. So verified by a certificate issued either by the person or any of the thing. If it is within India, only this portion is applicable. So this portion, that is the second thing. This alone is applicable in case of within India. If it is within India, only this portion is applicable. If it is outside India, then it should have to be verified along with this under the seal of the company or under the hand of some person who is interested in the mortgage are charged. The procedure is slightly more. It can be done either by them or any of the three possibilities. So this is with regards to verification of instrument creating the charge. Then now I should have to register the charge within 30 days. Now the company has omitted to register the charge. So in that case, what is the option available to the for registration of charge that I should have to ensure? So previously, before 2/11/2018, there was a provision. And after 2/11/2018, the provision is slightly different. We will take example. First, we will analyze this and then we will proceed further. Okay, I will tell you. See, within 30 days, it should have to be registered. I have failed to register within 30 days. See, you should have to be clear since the number of days have been specified. If it is a charge on April 1st, 30 days, you cannot take it as May 1st. That is wrong. Within 30 days will end on April 30th itself. So 30 days of creation, you should have to be when the number of days are given. When there are 31 days. Okay, full screen is not visible. I will share. Now is my screen visible? So 30 days they have mentioned. So within 30 days of creation, you should have to register. If I forget to register or I fail to register earlier, if not registered within 30 days, then within 300 days of creation, that 300 includes this 30 days also. 30 plus 270 extra days. So within 300 days of creation, the wordings are very clear. Within the 300 days of creation, for that the company should have to pay additional fee. Normal fee plus additional fee. Then if the company fails to register even within 300 days, then it should have to register within 6 months from 2/11/2018. What is that 2/11/2018? That is the date on which this amendment was passed. So at the time of whenever an act or whenever a policy is changed or they change a procedure, they will give some time. So 6 months from 2/11/2018, the company should have to register. Of course, additional fees have to be paid for the delay in registering. So here you have three time limits. If I give the time limits, if I write the time limits, it will be first one 30 days. If it is, if there is a failure 300 days, then you have got 6 months from 2/11/2018. This was the situation before 2/11/2018. Now, after this 2/11/2018, there has been a change, right? So, what they have mentioned there, what they have mentioned is first, you have to register within 30 days. If you have failed to register within the 30 days, within the next 30 days, you should have to do it. So the original 30 days plus additional 30 days. So totally 60 days from creation of charge. Meaning the 60 includes the previous 30. So 30 plus additional 30 days, of course, with additional fees for the delay. You have to do it. If you have not registered within the next 30 days also, then you can register it for a further period of 30 days. When I use the word further period, apart from this 30, 60, 30, 30, apart from this, after this, a further period of 60 days is available for me. Of course, there I have to pay an ad valorem fees. Ad valorem means on the value of the security or on the value of the charge, you have to pay the fees. That will be decided. That is ad valorem. This is the position after 2/11/2018. So here the time limit is first you have a 30 days. Then if you fail, you have another 30 days. Of course, you have to pay additional fee. Suppose you have omitted that 30, you have to register it within the further period of 60 days. Of course, there you have to pay the ad valorem fees. This is the situation. This is the thing which we currently follow. 30 days, then 30 days, then additional further period of 60 days, you should have to register the charge. If a company fails to register, the company should only pay. You can ask me the question, ma'am, what happens if the banker registers? Banker paying the thing, the company has made a default. The bank is paying the fees and then can it get it back? Yes, the banker can get it back from the company. Whatever expense it has incurred, the filing fees expense or the ad valorem fees or the charges it has paid when it ought to have been registered by the company, the banker is paying those fees and getting the charge registered, then the banker can get the reimbursement from the company. The company should have to reimburse the banker for the charges incurred by the banker for its default in registering the charge with the Argus. So here it is an extension of time limit. Why, if the original 30 days has been omitted to be registered, then the company has got first option, then the second option. Further option is also there. So within the time limit, it should have to register itself with the Argus, register the charge with the Argus. Shall we proceed further? Then what is the procedure for extension of time limit? Now I have failed to register the charge. Then what should I do? I should have to apply to the registrar. So I have to make an application to the registrar. Then it should be supported by a declaration by the company, signed by the company secretary or the director. That it should have to give a declaration that the belated filing will not adversely affect the rights of any creditors of the company. It should have to give a declaration. Then the ROC will look into the matter, and if it is satisfied that the company has got sufficient cause is there is a doctrine of sufficient cause. That is, it was not willful, it was not deliberate. The company had it had some reason for not filing within the original period of 30 days, then it will grant the extension. So when the extension is granted, either if you file it within the next 30 days, additional fees has to be paid. When the delay is more than 60 days, then ad valorem fee will be applicable. So the company has to pay additional fee or ad valorem fee should have to be paid as the case may be. And after getting the charge registered, the ROC will issue a certificate of registration of charge with its seal. The ROC will give a seal, will sign digitally. Now it is a digital signature will be affixed on the document. It will be signed by the ROC digitally, and the ROC will issue the certificate of registration of charge. Now, this procedure or this charge will not be applicable to banking companies where charge has been created in favor of RBI. So, by other banking companies, if they create a charge in favor of RBI, this is not applicable. So, there is a specific exclusion wherein the banking companies will not be applicable. So they might test you on this particular exceptions. You have to learn in detail what are all the exceptions. So what are the points? What is the procedure? First, application should have to be given. It should be supported by a declaration, which should be signed by the company secretary or director. What declaration? So it starts with that, supported by a declaration. So let me highlight the important points so that it will be easier for you to remember. An application to the registrar in prescribed form, supported by a declaration from the company, signed by its company secretary or a director, that so the declaration should state that belated filing shall not adversely affect the rights of any intervening creditors. That belated filing shall not adversely affect the rights of any other intervening creditors. That is the declaration that is given by the company, signed by its company secretary or director. Then the ROC will satisfy that the company had sufficient cause in not filing the document. So, for not filing the original document within a period of 30 days, allow the registration within the extended period with additional fee or ad valorem fee should have to be paid. depending on the delay. Let me write it. It is depending on the delay. That is 30 days delay or within 60 days or the further period. Then after that, ROC will issue a certificate of registration of charge, which is the conclusive evidence that the charge has been registered. This is the conclusive evidence, and it is not applicable to banking company. Intervening creditors means whoever the creditors come. See, I would have created the charge. I will tell you. So who is a creditor? In the balance sheet, you have the liability side. Who's a creditor, first of all? One who has supplied the material or the supplier from whom you have bought it on credit. I'm creating a charge. Say I have created a charge on 1st January 2026. So within 30th January 2026, I should have to register. I have failed to register that. Then on 15th February, I find out that I have not registered that charge. So in between time, the new creditor would have come, no? So he is not affected by it. I am liable to that, no? Liable to him. That liability, he does not, he has got its own right. So he has got every right to demand payment from me. So subsequent creditor or any other intervening creditors, it doesn't affect the rights of any other intervening creditor. So that is the meaning. So just to be on the safer side, I give this declaration. It should not affect any other rights of the intervening. Intervening is in between if they come, or those creditors also have the equal right that is there. So all the points you should have to write. When I ask about, when the question is about extension of time limit, each and everything is important. Then. Now, once the charge is registered, then it is a public document. Meaning, I said it is available in the portal, MCA 21 portal. So any person can go through the contents. So he will see that the charge ID is created and what is the value of the charge. All the details can be done. Even the person can inspect, any third person can inspect and find out, inspect the company, ABC company, and find out what are all the charges that are alive or how many charge a person has created. See, I could have 5 charges, I could have 15 charges, I could have given charge one, that is first charge, I could have given, it could be a fixed charge with SBI. Second charge, I could have created with UCO Bank, a different property. See, property A, I would have given. Property B, I would have given. Then property C, I could have got it from the Indian bank. It is possible. So once a charge has been created, all these things are visible. It is transparent. Meaning, it is a public document. A person cannot say, I do not know that a charge has been created. I was not aware. I gave this loan. So a person cannot say so. So registration of charge is considered as deemed notice of charge. Notice of the charge has been given. So what is the option available to a third person who wants to deal with that company? They should have to inspect the company, inspect the charge which is available in the portal, and they can get the certified copy from the registrar of companies also. What are all the charges that are there? Banks generally they do it. See, practically what happens, suppose for the you come to, I'm the banker, you come to me for a charge. You come to me, you ask me for a loan. So first I will see what is your repaying capacity. Already if you have a loan of 100 crores, if you want from me 10 crores, so I can get it from the portal, right? So what is the charge that is available? So I can see very well whether the charge is there. You would have borrowed, you could have got 100 crores, you could have satisfied 100 crores also. Now the loan is nil. Then that is also visible, that also I can see. So whether already you have created a charge, you have given a property A to SBI. Suppose the same property you are depositing with me for, you are showing that I have a property A and you want to get from me a loan, then it is visible, right? So I should have to verify whether the asset is already under a charge or not. For the first time you are coming to me, or is already under a charge, any charge or not. This I can verify it. This is whether it is the first charge for the company, or already the company has got many charges, or already one charge is existing. I can verify it. How? By going through the record of charges. So how can I verify? So I'm writing it here for your understanding. While reading, you should have to read it like that. So how? By going through the record of charges. Where is it maintained? In the office of ROC. When I should have to do this verification? When verification to be done? Will I do it after giving him a loan? No. It is before entering into the transaction. So, how to start with? Every person proposing to deal with the company. I'm going to deal with the company. See, before going to deal with the company, the better wording is proposing to deal with the company. Before dealing with the company, before entering into the transaction, I should have to verify who the borrower, before giving the loan, should have to verify that whether the company already has got a charge, whether this is the first charge. I can get the information from the record of charges, which is available in the portal now. You can also go to the physically also, you can do the inspection, but now it is made easier. Previously, sometime back, you can go to the thing before this online portal came, we used to go and do the inspection. Now it is made simpler. You can verify that in the portal itself by doing an inspection and you can get it. So once it has been registered, it becomes a public document. Any person will be aware that a charge has been created. So where any charge is registered, any person acquiring such property, assets, undertakings. Suppose the property is going to be sold. I said I have a charge created on property at Mumbai. Say, let me take it as property A. Now, I'm the buyer of this property. So, this person acquiring such property, any person acquiring such property, That is the buyer. Here the meaning is buyer of the property, namely in my example property A, is deemed to have notice of the charge from the date of such registration. From the date of such registration. So it could be original 30 days, could be the delayed 30 days, or by paying the ad valorem fee, they would have got it registered. Still, from the date the charge ID has been created, it has been registered, it becomes public documents. So all charges, see the question, the answer starts with all charges registered with the respect to, see the wordings, each one is important, with the respect to ROC are public documents. In case the buyer or any other person, even subsequent lender, enters into the transaction without making any inquiry. So he didn't inquire. No inquiry was done. He has suffered a loss. Then he cannot claim any damage or loss from the company. Why? The reason being, it is public document. It is his negligence in not looking after this, or without making the inquiry. He should have done an inspection and he should have got it correctly. So that is the concept. Have you understood this concept? Yes. Yes. See, these charges, we do it practically. Every company has created. Even for one company, there used to be some 4, 5 files for charges. They will keep that separately. The charges will be, there might be 15 charges, 100 charges, modification 1, 2, 3, 4, like that it will be. So the charge itself is a vast practical aspect, which many companies make use of it. That means it has taken a loan and that has been secured by the security, that you give that intimation to the public by way of registration. That is the concept. Now, what is the consequence if I don't register the charge? No charge created by the company shall be taken into account by the liquidator. Yes, respective ROC means where the charge has been registered. See, if my asset is located in Mumbai, so I will register it with Mumbai Argos. See, I have a property at Mumbai. Then Mumbai ROC will be the respective registrar. See, it depends on the location of the property. If it is an immovable property, so respective ROC means where the asset is situated, that ROC. Suppose the um, asset is located in Kolkata, then the Kolkata ROC is the respective ROC. Where the asset is there, that particular ROC should have to do it, because a company can have any branch throughout India. So where the asset is located, where the registered office is located, that respective the property will be, that respective ROC should have to be. So you do it as you call it as a respective ROC. Then consequences of non-registration of charge. Yes, generally you keep the asset with the where the registered office is situated. Generally, now the company wants to go into liquidation or if the charge is not registered, it will become void against the liquidator or the creditors. The thing is that the point is that they don't have security. When the charge is not registered, the security is gone. The security is lost. But you have obtained a loan, no? The loan is repayable. So the contract that is valid. What is that contract? Loan contract is valid, but when the charge is not registered, security is lost. It is void against the liquidator or other creditors. So generally they insist that the charge should have to be registered. So that is the effect. They get a hold on the security once it is registered. If you don't register, they don't have. I'll give you an example. Suppose a company has obtained 50 lakhs worth of loan. The it is secured against property A. Now it has obtained additional 10 lakhs. Of course, this is valid, this is registered. So, till the second modification is registered, this you call it as modification with the same property because there is an increase of the loan, there is a modification. This should also be registered. If the company has not registered this, the loan is valid. The company should have to repay this loan, but the additional security which it has given, say as additional security, it has given property B in Mumbai, or it could be in any place. So in that case, additional security, the company still this charge is registered. Let me put it as this is charge one. Then in charge one, modification. So this charge, this security property B will not be available as a security. That is the meaning. But definitely that will not be available. Why? He loses priority. So if property B has been registered with some other bank, it is not registered. Suppose the person has taken from UCO Bank and to whom this property B was registered, he will get a priority for this. So till it is registered. One example is there that I will deal with it. What is that will explain the clearly as to what is the effect of non-registration. This is a very, very important thing. It is there in your study material. Let me explain this example. Then you will be able to understand it better. Bank A advanced 1 crore. Let me write it here. So Bank A has advanced 1 crore to Vasudha Limited. I'll put it as Vasudha Limited against the security of the company's land at Mulund. The charge was created by deposit of title deeds on 1st June 2024. The company did not register the charge within 30 days. Subsequently, the charge was registered on 12th August. This was loan was taken. Registration of charge was done on 12th August. Of course, they have registered with ad valorem fee. Why ad valorem? 30 days gone, then further 30 days also gone. Then the remaining July, June 30th, then July 30th also gone. So the second further 60 days, within 60 days, the charge got registered. So ad valorem fees will be payable. After payment of ad valorem fees and providing sufficient costs. So providing sufficient costs, then the registrar was satisfied that the company had sufficient costs in not registering within the initial time period. Now, Bank B. Now, this is Bank A. Now, Bank B advanced 2 crores against the security of the same property, Mulund property. The loan was given on 18th June. Registration was done, registered on 26th June. So within 30 days, it got registered. Now the question is, who gets priority over this? If the company goes into liquidation before registering this charge, say July end or before August 10th or 12th, whatever it is, before, or let me take July end, the company goes into liquidation. Then in that case, which of these two banks will get priority? Now the question is, Bank B will get priority, even the loan was subsequent, but it was registered on 26th June. Whereas for the loan obtained by the company from Bank A on 1st June, since it was not registered, it will lose the priority. Definitely, it should have to repay this 1 crore to Bank A and 2 crores to Bank B. No doubt about it. Suppose the company, when will liquidation take place? The company is not in a position to run. Then it liquidates. Only 2 crores are realized. Then the problem is severe. It will not get, Bank A will not get its loan in full because the company has realized only 2 crores. In such a situation, the problem arises only there and the property realizes only 2 crores. In such a situation, Bank B will get repayment of its loan, whereas Bank A will not get. Bank B will get repayment of its loan in full, but Bank A will not realize because subsequent registration will not prejudice the right of Bank B because it has registered on 26th June itself. Before Bank A registers, Bank B has registered and they have registered it before. So there comes the impact or importance of registration. So between the same two banks, Bank B will get priority because its charge was registered before. What is the right of the Bank B? which is obtained, it's right before the charge in favor of Bank A was actually registered. So Bank B gets priority over Bank A. That is the concept. A very beautiful example which clearly explains what is the impact of registration of charge. So that's why the act has been created. Who should have to? The borrower fails to register, then the banker's duty to get it registered. Otherwise, it will lose its security. That is the impact. There, the provision has been created. See, we saw that provision, right? Who should have to register? In case the borrowing company creating the charge fails to register, the person in whose favor the charge is created, the lender, can get the charge registered. So this impact is clear. When it is not registered, then subsequent registration by another bank, it loses priority. That bank will get the priority over this bank. That is the concept. Yes. Just go through this example. See, even within 30 days, if both bank has registered, this bank has also registered, that bank also has registered, then they will get a priority. In a hypothetical case, I will tell you. Let me write it here. See, this is only consequences of non-registration. Suppose bank A has also registered. Bank B has also registered. Then no issue. Within 30 days, this bank has also registered within 30 days. Now, Bank A, it has given the loan on 1st June. The Bank B has given the loan on, say, 18th June. This Bank B has given the loan on 18th June. So, within 30 days, here you are registering it on 10th, assume 10th June. Here you are registering it on 20th June. Both are registered. Suppose the company subsequently goes into liquidation, then both will get a charge on the asset. Equal charge, like a secured creditor. Both are secured creditor. So they have a hold on that thing. So both will have they have a pari passu charge. That you call it as pari passu charge. Equal rights. Both the bank will have an equal right on the asset. Whatever is realized, it will get distributed on the basis of the secured creditors. Is this clear? Yes. You need a break? Yes. We will take a break for 10 minutes, 10 minutes. How many minutes you want? 5 minutes or 10 minutes? 10 minutes? Okay. We shall take a break for 10 minutes and then we will meet. Okay, 10 minutes. So at 7:37, we will meet by 7:47. Is that clear? Now let me write here break so that So welcome back. Are you all, am I audible? Shall we continue? Yeah, okay. So we were going through this example wherein in case a charge was not registered and subsequently another bank gets a loan or has given a loan, then they will get the priority. Now, to avoid all those things only, now CERSAI has come into the picture. That is CRSA. So it is generally advisable to register it with both ROC and CERSAI. Practically, we do it that way. So there are multiple loans are given for the same property. So in that case, the bankers will or the lenders will find difficulty. So they have to register themselves so that a proper security has been maintained for the assets. No. Application for a registration of charge should have to be done by the charge holder. So we will see how the link goes or how it is being done. Application for registration of charge. So first step, the company creating the charge must register the said charge, right? If the company fails to do so within 30 days, then the charge holder, namely the lender, can apply to the registrar to register that charge. Now, who is registering? The lender is registering, that is, the banker is registering. So, just like that, the banker cannot register the charge. So, the ROC wants to get a confirmation whether I can register the charge, because later on you are creating a charge on the name of the company. Now, if the company themselves give, no problem. Now, when the charge holder or the banker is applying to making an application to the registrar, now the ROC should have to intimate it to the company that this bank has come to me for registration of charge. So what the ROC can do, either it will give an intimation to the company and will wait whether any objection is received from the company or not. If no objection is received, then the ROC will register the charge within 14 days after giving notice to the company. Now, the company makes a objection. If objection is received, if the ROC gets an objection from the company, so if objection is received, so both are the same thing. This is one situation. This is case two. This is case one. If no objection is received. In another situation, if objection is received by the ROC, then if company registers by itself, the company says, no, I will register, then or sufficient cause why such charge should not be registered. The company gives a sufficient cause. No, this should not be registered. And it gives a sufficient cause and the ROC is satisfied, then the ROC will not register the charge by the charge holder. By the banker, it will not allow, ROC will not allow the registration of charge by the banker or the charge holder or the lender. Is this concept clear? So first I repeat. So first, it is the application. Within 30 days, you should have to register. If he fails, the company fails to register, the banker can register the charge with the ROC. ROC, just like that, blindly, it will not make a registration. It will intimate to the company by asking a no objection. If no objection has been received, then the ROC can proceed with the registration of charge within 14 days after giving notice to the company. If no objection has been received and sufficient cause is there, yes, and if sufficient cause is there, then he will see to it that it is not registered. See, I will give you an example. They have, for sufficient cause is there, now the property is not registered. They have bought a property, but it is not registered in their name, the buyer's name. Say property B, they want to register it. Now property B is going to be acquired from CD Limited. Now ABC Limited should have to buy that property from CD. Now there is a delay in transferring the property name. See, property is not just like that. It is a transfer of property. The ownership should have to get transferred. They would have created a thing. So there is a delay in transfer of property. The rights or the name should get transferred to ABC Limited from CD Limited. Now this is given as a security. Now there is a delay in getting the rights transferred in the borrower's name. So that is a sufficient cause. They don't have any other property. I'm just giving you an example for sufficient cause by the ROC. So there is a delay and as a result they wanted to do it. That is, they should have to prove to the ROC. If the ROC is convinced, yes. So you should have to explain for a genuine case, yes, sufficient cause for the delay in registering. So the property, that is a practical case where the transfer of property gets delayed and as a result the charge gets delayed. They would have given the loan and as a result there is a delay. So that is one of the sufficient cause you can give. Have you understood this concept? How this okay. So this is how the ROC works. Just like that, he will not register. And here the time limit is 14 days. 14 days, within 14 days, he should have to register. So the time limit period of 14 days, he should have to register the thing. See, for any act, Companies Act or business, this paper, you have the time limit. Now, in registration, there will be a 14 days, 30 days, 60 days, 300 days, and so on. So, you should have to keep it in a separate thing. So, you should be clear with that. When you go through the entire topic, various chapters, then there will be so many numbers because the company may object for that the company wants to register by itself that it is having a an objection. There could be a possibility. Suppose there is a possibility, now the banker has applied it wrongly. I'm giving you a practical case. Now banker would have given some other security in the place of property B. There is a possibility, suppose the company is not aware, the banker has given property A and he wants to register. The company will not know what exactly is the document or security it is giving, the banker is giving. So it may object. No, we want to see the document. It will get vetted by its legal team and then it will do the charges by itself. See, for certain companies, big companies, they will do it by themselves. They will, some third party, they will not allow the third party to register. So the company itself may want to register because it has to ensure that all the details are right. Suppose a wrong data has been given and the security got registered, then it is a problem for the company. So the company may object. So it will say, no, no, the company I will register by itself. So if a company registers by itself or sufficient cause why it should not be registered is provided, then the ROC may allow. Shall not allow the registration by charge holder. It will wait and the charge will be registered by the company. That is the anyway it should have to be registered. So it will register. It will be registered by the company. That is the concept here. See, it is not it is a valid document, right? Once you cannot, today you cannot say something and you cannot change the terms that easily. Once it has been registered, you are doing a registration of charge. So in that case, the company should have to be very, very clear which property to which company or which banker it is giving, and then it should have to ensure that it is done correctly. So it may object. Shall we proceed further? No. Now, what are the registration of charges and in what situation is this applicable? So we will take that. Acquisition of property subject to charge and modification of charge. Now, within a reasonable time, the company should have to give its objection. Immediately, it will give its objection. It cannot object after thing. So 14 days, within 14 days of notice, it will wait for 14 days and within that time, in the notice itself, they would have mentioned, kindly reply within this time limit. So within that time limit, the company should have to object. In that notice, the ROC will send kindly, if you have any objection, send reply within 30 days, or it would have mentioned, say if the ROC is giving an objection or while giving the notice itself, the ROC will specify. Say if today if the ROC gives a letter, it may state that before 31st March, if you have any objection, please give your intimation before on or before 31st March. So if time limit has been specified, then within the time limit, the company should have to make an objection. So when the time limit expires, then the ROC will proceed with registration of charge. So that everything will be intimated. Even for the submission or the company gets a intimation from the ROC, it would specify on or before this date. It should have to raise the objection. Failing which, the company loses the right to object. It would have been specified clearly in the intimation. Now, for registration of charges, in the two situations it is applicable. What is that? Company acquiring any property subject to the charge. Already now the seller is there, the buyer who is acquiring the property subject to the charge. Now it has been bought by ABC Limited. Now CD Limited is the original owner. Now he is selling this property. Now what happens when CD already has a charge on the property A? Then this charge should be vacated. The earlier charge should get vacated and a new charge will be created by the acquiring company. So in the place of CD Limited, this will vacate and a new charge will be created on the name of ABC Limited. When the company acquires any property subject to charge, already the property is involved in a charge and the buyer is acquiring that property, then the earlier charge should get vacated and the acquiring company should get itself registered in that. The new charge should get registered by the acquiring company, that is the buying company or the buyer company. So that is the acquiring company, right? Or now it has acquired. This company has, I will put it differently. This ABC has acquired CD Limited. Even that is possible. Has acquired any property. So it has taken over this company. So in that case, the charge will be created in the name of the acquiring company in the place of this ABC. See, as long as who guarantees the banker is not CD would have got a loan, ABC would have given the guarantee or security. It's immaterial. So as long as the loan has been guaranteed or it has been secured by the assets of the other person, it is whoever is the holder, it should be properly specified in the document. That is more important. Then there is a modification of charge. Assume that there is a modification of charge. There is a change in terms and conditions, or earlier it would have been 5% interest. Loan would have been obtained at 5% interest. Now it would have been 8% interest. So a person has got, the borrower has got 50 lakhs worth of loan. Initially it was at the time of creation of charge, it was 5% interest rate. Now it is 8% interest rate. Then there is a variation in change in interest rate of interest. Or in case of any operation of charge, it could be floating charge was changed to fixed charge. It could be anything. Or the property was subsequently, or the loan amount was enhanced loan amount, or they are giving additional security. In all those cases, we will be reading now the modification of charge. What are the cases for modification of charge? So in that case, wherever there is a variation, that will be a modification of charge, and you should have to modify that charge by giving intimation to the ROC. We will see what is meant by modification of charge or examples of modification of charge. If you vary any terms and conditions, it could be the interest rate, it could be anything. It could be the interest rate or payment and interest rate. It could be, that could be changed. Earlier it was made quarterly, now it is monthly. They have to pay the interest and increase rate or additional security, anything. Then when the limit has been enhanced or decreased. Now you have a working capital limit. Suppose as a small business, my limit on working capital loan might be 50 lakhs. Now the business has grown and business has increased. So I am doing more business. So in that case, the working capital limit could be enhanced to 75 lakhs. So I will get a loan up to 75 lakhs. When the terms or the limits has been enhanced or decreased, then it amounts to modification. When the modification is by ceding a pari passu charge, pari passu means equal rights. So when it is stopped by a pari passu charge, so even in that case, it amounts to modification. Or when there is a change in rate of interest, which we saw before, 5%, 8%, or in repayment schedule. So every year they should have to pay 10 lakhs. Now the repayment schedule has been changed. Say it has been brought down to 8 lakhs or it was increased to 12 lakhs or some arrangement with the bank has been done. So in that case, then it amounts to modification. Or there is a partial release of the charge. When will a partial release be applicable? I will give you an example. A company has given property A, property B as both has security for the 50 lakhs. Now it has given 30 lakhs. It has repaid 30 lakhs. Now the company wants to sell property B. Now in that case, it can request the bank to release the property B because partial amount has been paid. So for the remaining 20 lakhs, the company can ask the bank to keep property A as security, which should cover more than this 20 lakhs. The value of the property will be more adequately charged, no doubt about it. Then in that case, it can request property B to be released. It can request the bank to release property B. So that is called as partial release on a particular asset or property. It can release it, practically release of the charge. So when both the assets have been given, it can ask the bank to release a property. So that is a modification. Now the charge will be registered only on property A. The new charge or the new modification that will specify that property A continues to be secured for the remaining loan given. So they can do a modification. So these are all, when any change takes place that amounts to modification and that should be registered. Even this modification of charge should be registered with the ROC. Creation of charge should have to be registered. Modification of charge should have to be registered. Then satisfaction of charge should also be registered. Then when will the registrar issue a certificate of modification? Now the certificate of modification will be issued by the registrar. Registrar will issue a certificate of modification of charge in form number CHG3. See, you have to remember certificate of creation of charge. You create a charge in form number CHG1 and the certificate of modification of charge will be given in form CHG3 by the registrar. So that is the conclusive evidence. What for? That the chapter 6 has been complied with, which deals with the charges, and the rules have been complied with. As to the registration of modification of charge has been complied with. So when you register the modification, particulars of modification, what is the change? Modification is the change in particulars of charge. It could be with respect to the loan amount, or it could be the amount given as security, it could be the rate of interest, it could be the limits enhanced or decreased, it could be anything. So whatever is the change, that change should have to be mentioned in the modification, and the ROC will issue the certificate of modification of charge in CHE 3. I will also show you the uh, thing wherein how the certificate is getting, the ROC will issue the certificate. Now we shall do some MCQs. Now you have to put it in the comment in your chat. What is the answer for this? We will deal quite a few MCQs. Tech Machines Limited owns a plot of land which was mortgaged to Urban Commercial Bank Limited for raising a term loan of 2 crores. See, there are two types of loans. It could be a term loan or a working capital loan. Working capital loan means it will fluctuate. Term loan means it is for a fixed amount. That is the only difference. So term loan of 2 crores. The mortgage was duly registered with the central registry. First loan installment of 50 lakhs was released immediately after the sanction of term loan, with the condition that subsequent 3 installments of 50 lakhs shall be released as soon as the earlier released installment is utilized satisfactorily. Is it necessary either for the company or the bank to register the charge on plot with the concerned registrar of companies when the mortgage is registered with the central registry? Read the question. So what the thing says, now the company, let me put it as E Limited, has got a loan from Urban Bank. Loan amount was 2 crores. They will not release it just like that 2 crores on one fine day. First loan installment of 50 lakhs was released immediately. Now they have registered it with central registry. The question that is tested here is whether should the company or the bank register, or is it sufficient with the, read the last line of the question before the MCQ starts. Is it necessary either for the company? So the question is it necessary either for the company or the bank to register with the concerned registrar of companies, since they have registered already with the central registry? What should be your answer? First, forget about the 4 options given. See what should be the answer. So many have come out with the answer. See, registration is mandatory, right? They need to register. See, what is the options given? It is not necessary either for the bank or the company to register the land with the concerned registrar of companies when the mortgage is registered with the central registry. Is it so? No. Whether they have registered it with other things, the main thing is it should be registered with ROC. ROC should be registered. Then it is necessary to get the charge or plot of land registered with the concerned registrar of companies, irrespective of the fact that the mortgage is registered with the central registry. Yes, this is correct. We will also read the thing. The charge on plot needs to be registered with the concerned registrar of companies only when the actual liability of the company with the bank exceeds 1 crore. No. Only when the fourth option is needs to be registered with the concerned registrar of companies only when the term loan sanctioned by the company, by the bank to the company exceeds 2 crores. No, that is not the thing. Immediately it should have to register. If it is not registered, what are the consequences? We saw the consequences in that example. Vasudha thing. So definitely option B is the correct answer. Option A is wrong. Because you read the thing, it is not necessary. Central registry is the general thing. It's not with the ROC. Central registry, though, whether you register with central registry or not, you have to register with ROC. Now the rule is that the company, the charge is getting registered with CERSAI and ROC. Here the question that is tested is whether is it necessary, mandatory for the company to register with ROC. That is tested. Here the question that is tested is whether registration with ROC is necessary. Respective ROC is necessary or not. That is what is tested here. So you read the question. If you get a confusion, read the last thing where I have highlighted in yellow. Is it necessary either for the company or the bank to register the charge on plot with the concerned registrar of companies? See, only if it gets registered with registrar of companies, it becomes a public document. You are giving an intimation. See, we learned it is once it gets registered, it becomes a public document. Subsequently, a person who lends the loan, he cannot say he is not aware of it because once it is registered, it is available in the portal. So registration is mandatory. Registration with ROC is mandatory. Clear? So answer is it is necessary to get the charge on plot on land registered with the concerned registrar of companies, irrespective of the fact that the mortgage is registered with the central registry. Second question. See, all these are in the institute publications, it is there. Either you can go through the model test papers, previous RTPs, MTPs, and previous year suggested answers. So all the there are so many MCQs, but I have picked the one which is relevant to that our topic for discussion. With a view to augment its production, Surya Techno Products Limited availed a loan of 50 lakhs from Sri Lakshmi First Bank. Let me write it here. So Surya Company obtained a loan of 50 lakhs from Sri Lakshmi Bank for purchase of new machinery by offering its factory worth. So what is the security offered? 2.25 crores factory as security. However, the company did not initiate any steps to get the charge on factory registered in favor of the lending banker within the specified time. As soon as the charge holder bank came to know about the non-registration of charge with the ROC, it applied to the registrar for registration of charge along with the instrument creating the charge and paid the requisite fees when demanded. It also paid the requisite fees when demanded. Advise the bank whether it can recover the fees so paid for registration from Surya Techno products. Yes. Is my screen visible? I'm sharing that screen. So what should be the answer? Now the question is when the company should have to register with ROC. The company has failed to register. The question that is tested here is whether bank can register. If so, can it recover the fees? That additional fee it would have paid, no? So within 30 days, what is the procedure? 30 days, a quick recap of what we learned. So 30 days, then additional 30 days, additional fee. Then for a further period of 60 days, ad valorem fees should have to be paid. So many have given the answer. Okay, get a different thing. See, the question is whether can it recover the fees paid. See, the question is the company has not registered, the bank is registering with the ROC, so it will be paying that additional fee. Whether it can recover the fees so paid for registration of charge from Surya Techno products. See, yes, it can recover, right? It can recover. The bank cannot recover because the bank is equally responsible for thing. The law says first option only the borrower should have to register. If the borrower fails to register, then the charge holder should have to register. In that order only it goes, right? So only when it obtains. See, whenever in the examination or you come across the word while reading only, you have to pay attention to it. Only when it obtains recovery orders from regional director, the bank can recover. No. Why recovery orders? No. Then national company law tribunal? No. That doesn't come into the picture at all. Now, see here the contract comes in the who should have to register, the company should have to register. Instead, the bank is registering. So it is incurring additional fee. That additional fee, whatever it is or whatever expenses it has incurred, the bank is registering because it will lose its security. So it is registering by paying the additional fee. So actually it should have been done by the company. So it can recover the fees. So yes, the bank can recover the fees paid by it for registration of charge. This is the answer. A is the answer. Then a charge was created by Sinus Softwares Limited on its office premises to secure a term loan of 1 crore availed from Next Gen Commercial Bank. So this is the company. It has got it from Next Gen Bank. 1 crore on 16th February 2022. Inadvertently, the company could not get the charge registered with the registrar of companies. So what is the thing? It is definitely after 2018. So the new provisions are, the existing provisions are applicable. What is the provision? 30 days, then next 30 days, then further 60 days. So here this is normal fees. Here it is normal plus additional fees. Here it is ad valorem fees. Whenever you come across this, first understand the provision. Then this should automatically come into your mind. What is the provision? So what is he trying to arrive at? So inadvertently, the company could not get the charge registered with the concerned ROC within the first statutory period permitted by law, and the default was made known to it by the lending banker with a stern warning to take immediate steps for rectification. Advise the company regarding the latest date by which it must register the charge with the ROC so that it is not required to pay a specific type of fees for charge registration. So what should be the answer for this? What is that specific fee? Here he is referring to this ad valorem fee. This ad valorem fee should not be paid. The specific type of fees. So when is the charge created? It was created on 16th February, right? So when it is 16th February, 30 days from that. So 16th February, 30 days from that. So in February, you will have, if it is 28 days, 28 minus 16, 12 days you have approximately, and March, you have got for 30 days, it is 18th March. Then this is the time limit normal fees, 30 days expires. Then April, from that, the remaining 30 days. So that will be till 17th April. The next 30 days will be till 17th April, right? So what should be the answer for this? He is asking so that it is not required to pay a specific type of fees. Yes, many have given the correct answer. Option B, right? This is the correct option. 27th April will not come. 27th April, if they pay means, then ad valorem fees will come. Then 2nd May, definitely ad valorem fees will come. Company cannot now get the charge register. No, there is a provision, extension provision is there. So B is the correct answer, right? So with the view to avoid, it should have to do it by 17th April. So what you should have to do, it was created on 12th, I'm sorry, what was the date? It was created on 16th February. So 16th February, then 30 days from 15th, 16th February, that is the normal charge. Then the next 30 days, additional fee. Then next further 60 days, ad valorem fee. So 16 days till 17th March 18th, it will be a normal fee. So you have to think it this way. You have to write the provisions and you have to do it. March 17th, yes. So February 12 days plus 30 days is there, no? So 18th March, then 17th March, it should have to pay. Yes. March 17th. So 30 days. Then Cyplish Games and Toys Limited was sanctioned a term loan of 60 lakhs by Zone Industrial Limited. As a security, the company offered its office premises situated at Bandra, Mumbai, with an instrument of charge was executed. However, the company failed. It was 21st November 2021. However, the company failed to get the charge registered with the concern registered within the first as well as the second. So this 30 days also gone. The next 30 days also gone. Second statutory period available by law. This was adversely commented by the internal auditors of the bank, and therefore, after a strict advisory received from Shaji, the senior manager of the bank, the company was prompted to take steps for registration of the charge. Name the specific type of fees which the company is now required to pay for registration of charge. Further 60 days. So, what is the name? That is the question. Is it a special fees? Is it a ad valorem fees? Is it a late registration fees? Or is it an ad valorem duty? It is ad valorem. Yes. Ad valorem duty or ad valorem fees? That is the question. It is an ad valorem fees, right? So B is the correct option. Ad valorem fees. Then XYZ, a manufacturing company, has taken a loan from ABC Bank and registered a charge on its assets on January 1st, 2022. On April 2024, X paid off the entire loan. See, this comes in satisfaction of charge. I will take it after the satisfaction, right? This question we will take. The case scenario states that the Towering Capital Bank sanctioned a term loan of 25 crores to be disbursed by its overseas branch for acquisition of the machining plant along with the land and building at Nairobi, Kenya for the wholly owned subsidiary JMPL Limited, and the term loan was to be secured against the properties of the holding company JMPL. No, it is a different company, JIWL, situated at Nairobi. As regards creation of charge in India, where instrument of charge relates solely to the property situated at Nairobi, Kenya, the copy of the said instrument of charge, which is required to be filed with the jurisdictional ROC, shall be verified in a specified manner. Choose the correct option from those given below as to the verification of copy for creation of charge in India. What should be the answer? Remember we did for whether it is inside India or outside India, within India or outside India. First, understand the provision. So what is that solely to the properties? There are three options available. The one is it can be given by the company secretary or a director or the authorized officer of the charge holder. That is also applicable. Then common seal of a company or any other party interested in that charge, right? So this provision should come to your mind, and based on that you should have to answer this question. What should be the correct answer? So here, as regards creation of charge in India, where the instrument of charge relates solely to the property situated at Nairobi, Kenya, the copy of said instrument of charge which is required to be filed with the jurisdictional register of company shall be verified by a certificate issued under the hand of some person other than the company who is interested in the mortgage or charge, shall be verified by a certificate issued under the hand of designated official at High Commission of India in Kenya. Then shall be verified by a certificate issued under the hand of Notary Public of Kenya having a valid certificate. Then as regards creation of charge, which is required to be filed with the jurisdiction, the first two lines are the same. Shall be verified by a certificate issued under the hand of a member, sorry, under the hand of a member of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya holding a valid membership. So what should be the answer for this? D. Okay. See, what is the third subdivision? Any other party who is interested in that mortgage, no? Does it fall under any of the thing? Issued under the certificate should be verified, issued under the common seal of the company, or it should be under any hand of the company secretary or director or any other officer of the lending company, or any person interested in the mortgage, right? See, read the first option again. See, nowhere it is mentioned as High Commissioner of India or a Notary Public or the member of the CPA, but it has been mentioned any other person interested in the mortgage other than the company in under the hand of some other person other than the company who is interested in the creation in the mortgage or charge. So this is the right answer, right? It comes in this option, the third option. Yes. So the answer is A. Shall be verified by a under the hand of some person other than a company who is interested in the mortgage or charge. Read the provision correctly, right? We will also do just one MCQ. What is the prescribed form for registering a charge created on debentures? What should be the answer? As many have come out with the correct answer, it is charge 9, CHG 9. So CHG1 is the normal thing. If it is on a debentures, it is CHG9. So that is the answer. So hope you all have understood the concepts which we learned today. We will have a quick review in the next class. I will complete the topic and we will have a quick review of the provisions. So till such time you go through the provisions what we learned. We learned today the creation of charge and modification of charge. I want you to go through that. Any doubts? If you have any doubts, you can put it in the comment or otherwise we will wind off. Yes, thank you everyone. Welcome everyone. Oh, so welcome everyone. Hope you all enjoyed the session. We will continue with that further topics in the next class. Good day. Yes. I'm happy that you all enjoyed the class. Oh, good. So all the best. and go through immediately today itself. You go and learn because your mind will be very fresh. I want you to review that today. Don't delay. You review it. It is easy. Law is easy. Yes. Sure, sure, ma. Dhanalakshmi. See, I'm not able to unmute you, Ujjwal. You can just put it in the comment. I'm seeing all your comments. Question 5, you want it. Just a minute. I'll just share. No, question 5, I didn't do it because it pertains to satisfaction of charge. I want to take it in the next class. So instead, I took this. I will do it in the next class. So this was question 6. And then I took what is the prescribed form for registering a charge created on debentures. That I took. See, weightage is you have acceptance of deposits, register of charges, and management and administration. Put together, it is a percentage, 15 to 20%, if I'm right. I'll just check it up and tell you. Give it in the next class. I'll give you the weightage. So put together, it is the weightage is given for that. So for all the 3 chapters. Okay, I will share you the questions also, which you should have to work it out. You will get it. It will be uploaded. See, I will be speaking in English. No, I generally don't. So we will stop with this for today's class and have a good day. Go through the session. Yes, thank you. Yes.